sure some of you are familiar. I've been around teaching a little bit at A4M now for about the last decade. And I was asked to come real quickly and do 30 minutes on innovations in lab testing and what's going on, and start to look at lab testing more as a circuit, right? That there's relationships that are going on in labs. So we're going to quickly move through this because I know we've only got about 30 or 40 minutes maybe at tops. And so, what I really start to look at is this. When I look at circuits, I think about this pattern. And this is something that I had developed quite a while ago. And the reality is, for most people, as you look across the top, it isn't all about, are they MTHFR positive? Oh, it's not about their COMT. Oh my gosh, they get a detoxifier, the ApoE4 gene. Oh no, it's their cortisol. No, it's not their cortisol. It's their estrogen. No, it's not their estrogen. It's their low T3. No, it's not their low T3, it's the fact they're insulin resistant. The reality is, for most people, the answer is yes. It's all of them. Most of the time, people come into you, they have elevated cortisol, it's causing shifts in their T4 to T3 conversion. Because their cortisol is high, they're histaminic, right? They're getting some histamine expression in the gut, leading to some antigen presentation. And so it becomes this complex network of experience that we try to manage, right? It's that classic person that comes into you that you're evaluating, and they say, well, I think I have fibromyalgia. It's what one practitioner said, but they don't think it's fibromyalgia. They think it's chronic fatigue. They really don't think it's chronic fatigue now. They think it's chronic Lyme exposure. And even though it's chronic Lyme exposure, I think maybe it might be candida. And even though it's not candida, I think it's low thyroid. Which one do you think I am? Yes. Right? It's like, oh boy, glad you're my first case. Right? So the point being is that people come to our experience with this top line. What type of diet do they eat? Are they eating a Paleolithic diet, or at least a Metro-Paleolithic diet, right? The modern paleo diet. They're not hunting anymore. Are they eating the vegan paleo diet, which is a real confusing thing for me because I've never hunted broccoli. But it's out there, the vegan paleo. But regardless, there's diet, drugs, exercise, environmental exposure, genetic stress, and then previous disease. Obviously, genetics can start to play a role on what's going on with what drug therapy they're taking, what nutrition therapy they're taking. If you're looking at drug therapy, I did a talk yesterday on drug-induced nutrient depletion as it relates to cardiometabolic risk. People could be doing all the right things, but they're taking a medication like an ACE inhibitor or an ARB. And it's dropping their zinc out, causing their testosterone to plummet. But you know what our solution is? Well, we need to give you testosterone. We didn't think about the zinc status, right? So network biocircuits mean, am I looking upstream and understanding some markers that could give me important insights into what's going on? Obviously, in the middle of this, it gets kind of messy. But the point is that if I'm under a lot of stress, then I activate my HPA axis. I could have several insults that occur, right? I could begin by having a gut immune insult, meaning my immune system shifts towards more antigen burden. I could have more T killer cell activity. I start attacking my thyroid maybe. I could also start at the brain level. Serotonin drops, melatonin drops, trouble sleeping, thyroid binding globulin goes up. Thyroid binding globulin goes up. I bind up my free thyroid fraction. Oh, wait, that's why your free thyroid's low. I forgot to measure total T4 and T3 against free T4 and T3 because I may be making plenty of thyroid hormone, but I'm binding it because I'm not sleeping. Network biocircuits, making sense out of it, right? Instead of looking at these individual numbers and then driving one decision on one. I know all of you, because just like in my practice, you give somebody T3 and you go, man, are they going to feel that? This is going to be great. They're going to love me. They're going to come back and thank me. And then they come back and they go, no, I don't feel any different. Is that rare? No, it's not rare, is it? Why? Did their level even go up? You draw their first labs and you go, wait a second, you started out at 2.9, I gave you free T3, I gave you some Cytomel or whatever, and now you're at 2.3. How did it go down after I gave it to you, right? And it's that thought process of understanding that hormones don't work in a vacuum, that they're in a crosstalk connectivity. I could be the perfect, I could be the absolute perfect eater. I'm never going to have a blood sugar.